This is big breaking emergency news. We now have President Trump issuing an emergency warning to the American people right now. He just issued this warning on live television, and he's warning that the American people need to get ready for this major crisis. He's even saying that it seems like warriors are coming over to our country from other countries and could be activated. That is what he's saying, and he is warning that things could get a lot worse. So I want you to just listen to what he says. He delivered this urgent emergency message at the U.S. southern border just yesterday, and he wants the American people to hear this because this stuff is being blacklit in the media. They are not allowing these stories to get out in the media, and it's important that these messages are spread. All right, so please hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on what's going on in our country. All right, so let's get into what President Trump is warning of. This is an urgent emergency message to the American people. This is a few minutes. I want you guys to just listen carefully to what he's saying.
The reports have come out, and we've been covering them, and everybody's been, and I spoke to the parents of an incredible young lady, and you saw her the other day. You saw what happened the other day in Georgia, and the parents are devastated. They're incredible people. But this is a Joe Biden invasion. This is a Biden invasion over the past 3 years. I call him Crooked Joe because he's crooked. He's a terrible president, the worst president our country's ever had, probably the most incompetent president we've ever had. But it's allowing thousands and thousands of people to come in from China, Iran, Yemen, the Congo, Syria, and a lot of other nations. Many nations are not very friendly to us. He's transported the entire columns of fighting-aged men, and they're all at a certain age, and you look at them and say, they look like warriors to me. Something's going on that's bad. Now the United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country. It's migrant crime. We call it Biden migrant crime, but that's a little bit long, so we'll just leave it. But every time you hear the term migrant crime, you know where that comes from. Allowing thousands and thousands and actually millions and millions of people to come. Could be 15 million, could be 18 million by the time he gets out of office, because hopefully the biggest risk we have is 9 months. That's a long time. Right. A lot of bad things can happen. I always say in speeches and rallies, it's if you take the 10 worst presidents in the history of our country and you added them all up, all of the problems, all of the lousy jobs they've done, you can add them all up. It's not as bad as this one man has done for our country. What he's done to our country is he's destroying our country. We were just talking before. All
right, really quick. He has more to say in just a second, but I really wanted to pinpoint on that point he made. He said there are warriors coming in from all these different countries from around the world. He said Iran, China, Congo, countries in Africa, countries in Asia, Middle East. The entire world is being let into our country openly right now, and we are paying for it and funding it as well. And Trump is warning that these, quote, warriors are coming into our country, and he said it's very bad. It's a very bad scenario. All right, I want you to listen to what else he was saying here.
The general was saying, he can't believe what's happening. He can't believe it. It's so sad. Last year, almost half of all ICE arrests were criminal aliens charged for more than 33,000 assaults, 3,000 robberies, 6,900 burglaries, 7,500 weapons crimes. This is all migrant crime. 1,600 kidnappings and 1,700 homicides and murders. These are the people that are coming into our country, and they're coming from jails, and they're coming from prisons, and they're coming from mental institutions, and they're coming from insane asylums, and they're terrorists. They're being let into our country, and it's horrible. It's horrible. And, I know many of the leaders of these other countries that are doing it, and it's not just South America. It's all over the world. The Congo, a very big population coming in from jails from the Congo. You look at the jails now, you take a look at the jails throughout the region, but more importantly, throughout the world. They're emptying out because they're dumping them into the United States. And these guys try and make like, oh, isn't it wonderful? They don't have a clue. I think they're looking for votes. They're looking for something. Nobody's really been able to tell me how anybody could want it. You know, you're always in business. You always want to understand the other side. You want to figure it out so you can do something that's good or bad, depending on what you're looking for. But nobody can explain to me, because everybody I speak to says how horrible it is. Nobody can explain to me how allowing millions of people from places unknown, from countries unknown, who don't speak languages. We have languages coming into our country. We have nobody that even speaks those languages. They're truly foreign languages. Nobody speaks them. And they're pouring into our country, and they're bringing with them tremendous problems, including medical problems. As you know, we had Title II, and we had different things to solve that problem, but they've terminated all of that. Even the judge couldn't believe it. The judge said, no, you can't do that. It would be horrible to do that. And he let it go, but he said in 6 months it expires, and it expired, and that's it.
All right, so you heard that urgent emergency warning from Trump. He went on to say that these countries around the world are also emptying their prisons into the United States. This was announced, I remember reporting on this last year, how countries like Venezuela were releasing mass amounts of criminals from their prisons, and it was being reported that a lot of them were coming to the United States and have come to the United States the past few years. And even the FBI warned just a few weeks ago that these Venezuelan foreign gangs are now forming inside of our major cities and are making networks and are connecting with other domestic gangs as well. All right, so this is a major crisis in our country. President Trump is warning of it. He's calling it, quote, a invasion of these, quote, warriors. All right, and this is serious for our national security and for our country's citizens as well. He mentioned this very tragic case in Georgia of this young woman who lost her life at the University of Georgia from an illegal immigrant that shouldn't have been in the country, right? So this problem is not going away. It's spreading, and this person was arrested multiple times and was not deported. He was in sanctuary cities, and they refused to deport this individual and cooperate with ICE, and they eventually let him out back on the streets multiple times when he should have been deported by ICE. And just yesterday, it was reported that Border Patrol in Maine reports agents arrested 3 Chinese nationals who were trying to use the cover of darkness to illegally sneak into the U.S. via the northern border with Canada near Fort Fairfield. It says a Chinese national from New York who is already in immigration proceedings was also arrested in a vehicle nearby, suspected of attempting to smuggle them further into the U.S. with illegal entry, right? And this was Border Patrol at the Holton sector in Maine, right? So there's already one person that crossed the border. They were just let in, given an asylum claim, whatever they claim to get in. And now they're helping smuggle more people in the dead of night. So in the middle of the night, they're trying to bring people in, and they were arrested. And there are thousands. The amount of Chinese nationals are now in the tens of thousands that are crossing a year. And it used to be around like 500. It used to be under 1,000 a year that cross. In the past year, it is now up. It's over 20,000. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was over 20,000 crossings of Chinese nationals last fiscal year. Right, and the number is growing this year as well. It keeps increasing. So this could be a standing army being set up in our country of foreign military units, right? This could be a foreign military operation being set up in our country and being allowed to cross our border openly and freely. They could be establishing, they could be getting funds, they could be getting access to benefits, and we could be paying for it as well. Right? So please hit it up for me down there. All right, hit that like, hit that subscribe. People need to hear this warning. Go check out my video I posted yesterday. Migrants are rioting. Migrants are rioting. They are demanding free housing, and they are storming government buildings. Quote, migrants. This is happening right now in America's major cities. I'll link that video down below for you guys so you can go check it out. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.